like everything in life, there are advantages and disadvantages to anything. There's a pro and a con. So when it comes to being single, there are advantages and there are disadvantages. As a single person, I'm single. I'm 41 years old. I've been in relationships, I would say the majority of my life single. And as I get into my middle stages of my life, I really have no plans to get in any type of relationship, certainly not any type of long-term family structure. So from that perspective, let me share with you the advantages of being single. The number one advantage is you own your time. You can do what you want when you want. You don't have to get back to the house after work to take care of your significant other, or to check in, or to take your kids somewhere. You don't have to plan your vacation around someone else. You don't have to stop at a rest area and wait for your significant other to shop or to do whatever. It's your time, your way, and your life is time. You know, life is just basically how you choose to spend your time. So when you're single, you pretty much get to choose your life on your terms. Okay. The number 2 advantage is money. Look, if you stay single, and certainly if you stay single with no kids and even no pets, your money is yours. You don't have to take someone else out. You don't have to split money with the bills with someone. You're going to have less bills. You're going to have less obligations. You're going to have less entanglements. You know, your money is yours. And you can live as frugal or as luxurious, a luxury as you want. You know, you get to determine your budget. Are you going to live high on the hog or low? Are you going to have a big house or small? Are you going to go spend money on a lavish vacation, or are you going to eat out of a can and save money? Well, you get to decide, because your money is yours when you're single. Number 3. The number 3 advantage of being single is you get to change quickly. What does that mean? Well, if you were in a relationship and you woke up one day, or you felt in your spirit over a period of time that you wanted to move. You wanted to move from New Jersey to Florida, or from Europe to Afghanistan. You know, wherever you wanted to move. If you wanted to move somewhere, even if it was just to change towns 20 miles or 120 miles away, you wanted to change houses, change apartments. When it's just you, all you have to do is figure out how you can do it, and it's done. When you live with someone else, or you're in a serious relationship with someone else, you can't just decide to change apartments. You can't just decide to move. You're entangled with someone else, and probably with their relatives, and with their entire package that comes with sharing your life with someone else. And that lack of flexibility is something that, to me, is a disadvantage. So to me, the advantage of being single is you have maximum flexibility. You can change quickly, whether it's a location, whether it's your life philosophy, change churches, don't go to church, go to church. You can change quickly. You're not bringing other people along with you on this ride, right? So that's definitely an advantage. Now let's get to some disadvantages. Well, the number 1 disadvantage is you miss out on the human touch, human intimacy. Whether it's just to fulfill an emotional satisfaction, to cuddle up with someone, or to share your day with someone, or, you know, a sexual, to share the most intimate things, sex, relationships, you know, all that, you know, the whole intimacy of being with another human. That's a major part of the life experience. And that's a disadvantage. Now look, how I supplement it is I masturbate. And physically, I get the same result as if I was having sex with someone else. But, you know, you can say that there's a higher level of experience maybe with the human touch. You pay a price for it, but for some people, it's a disadvantage not to be able to share their day, share their body, share their life. My experience, even though I'm saying it's a disadvantage, in my experience, most people in a relationship Eventually, one person doesn't feel good about themselves. Eventually, something physically happens to them. They get sick, they get old. Both people are not on the same page. So the physical intimacy, even in a marriage or relationship, is still hard to maintain. But to be fair, it's something you miss out on when you're single. So let's mark it as a disadvantage. The number 2 disadvantage. Well, I kind of alluded to it in one of the advantages. Like, you know, when you're single, you get to control your money and how you spend it and what you spend it on. When you're in a relationship, it's certainly true that, you know, you have to split your money, but if you needed to pool your resources together to split the bills, that could be an advantage. And many people, mostly on the lower economic scale, have to pool their resources together in order to survive, to pay the rent, to pay their bills. In other countries, even, you know, my grandparents migrated from Italy. In other countries that aren't as rich, families stay together, not necessarily because they're these great special cultures. It's because it's a survival mechanism. When you don't have a lot of money, you have to pool your resources together in order to survive. So in many first world countries where there's opportunities economically, you can live a more independent life. But even for the first world countries, for many people, they fall into the category of, for me to be able to pay rent, for me to be able to survive, I need other people. So I might as well get into a relationship, split the bills. So, you know, that's maybe an advantage. Maybe a disadvantage to being single. You can't split the bills with someone, but I still think it's an advantage because I still think you'll be better off without the possibility of divorce or, again, just splitting the bills. But either way, I'm just sharing. The number 3 disadvantage of being single is if you're a social being, and I think many people are, you won't have get-togethers at your house. You won't have holiday parties. Many people get depressed during the holidays if they're single because they yearn for this family time, this social activity. However, in my experience, most people get stressed out, get into fights, and holidays are a complete disaster. So I'm going to mark it as a disadvantage because I know a lot of people want to share the social connection. But in my reality, the social connection ends up in fights because you got all these people who want to do different things and you're forcing them together for the holidays or for these get-togethers. And even though there may be some nice moments, there's more disaster. But for people who live for this social connection, it would be a disadvantage to stay single because you wouldn't have that family unit. You wouldn't be going family vacations or have family get-togethers. Okay. So there you have it. Those are some advantages and disadvantages. Obviously, they're slanted towards advantages from my perspective because I'm single and I prefer to be, and this is based off my experience. However, you do whatever you want. But what I would say, this is very important. Look at your life. When you were in relationships, was it overall a positive experience, or was it overall one of the most emotionally harmful experiences in your life? And I think for most people, relationships cause more harm than good. I think there are some magical moments in a relationship that nothing can replicate it. And I'm thankful to have that experience. But I think you have to be very careful when you connect your life with someone else, because people outgrow each other, things change, and once you're entangled with someone, getting away from them can be very painful, very hard, and it could destroy your life. So you have to be very cautious, especially as you get older, and who you get involved with, certainly who you have kids with. So hopefully this video just sparks some things in your mind, give you something to think about from my perspective. If you appreciate these videos, I appreciate if you click that thumbs up. It's free. If you want to support the channel, click that blue join button. It's just 33 cents a day. You can cancel at any time. So what is support the channel, and you get unlimited access to all my live feeds, which I do every night on this channel, God willing, as long as there's not an emergency. You can check out my playlist, which has thousands of free videos on my YouTube channel. Subscribe, join the channel, leave a comment below. Let me know your experience in being single versus being in a relationship. And what do you think some advantages and disadvantages are to it? Outside of that, remember, whether you choose to be in a relationship or not, you always have to take care of yourself. Self-care and having the confidence to do things on your own is attractive. And if you depend on someone else for your emotional and physical needs all the time, you become unattractive. And we've all been there, myself included. That's part of maturity, is recognizing that and growing. So thank you again for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.